All right, so we've got an LB7 Duramax here. The problem we're having with this one is we're getting a hard start, long crank, sometimes no start. It's having an issue building fuel pressure. Story on it is I was driving fine one day, parked it, shut it off, came back to it, won't start. It is a fuel pressure related problem. I think these want like a minimum of 2500 psi on the high pressure fuel rail before they will fire, and we were only cranking 500-600 psi. So that right there tells me we either have a fuel pressure problem or a fuel pressure sensor problem. We went ahead and tested the fuel pressure sensor, which is located down here on the high pressure fuel rail right next to the high pressure relief valve. That seemed to have tested fine. So now we're left with basically three places we can be losing our high pressure fuel. We have the injection pump, so either the injection pump is either not building pressure because something's wrong with it, or it's returning too much pressure. Something's wrong with the return and it's just dumping it all into the return fuel rail. And then also you can get a return from your high pressure relief valve, which, like I said, right next to your fuel pressure sensor. If that's leaking, it'll just bleed off all your high pressure fuel straight to the turn rail, back to the tank, and then you have your injector. So each injector has its own return line, and if any of the injectors are returning too much, just like the regulator, it'll send it all to the return and it won't start. So what we did is we pulled our return line off the CP3 here, put it into a cup, measured how much return we were getting. I forget what the numbers are that you're supposed to be getting, but it was way over what it was supposed to be. So we said, sure, we'll look into the CP3, looked into that return fuel a little bit more, and it was full of sparkly, shiny metal glitter, which is basically a direct indication that CP3 has failed internally and it has shot metal down through the whole fuel system. So what we did is we put in a Bosch Reman CP3. When we did that, we found that somebody had been in here messing with the CP3, either messing with it or had recently replaced it. It was painted gloss black, which is not how the Bosch ones come. I don't know what brand it was. There was bolts missing on the Y bridge. There was stuff loose. Didn't look like a real good job that was done on the replacement of that guy. So we went ahead and put the Bosch Reman one in. We blew all the rails out, blew all the injector lines out, trying to get any contaminated fuel out of them. We put it all back together and we were still getting low fuel pressure, would not start. Unhooked all the glow plugs, gave it a little sniff of starter fluid, fired right up, ran fine, drove the truck around, ran fine. All the injector return rates looked good. Pressure seemed okay. Shut the truck off, go to start again, won't start. So the problem we were having now is CP3 is good. CP3 is not returning too much fuel. We now have a problem with one of the injectors. One of the injectors likely got metal shaving in it, stuck the return open, and it's bleeding off too much fuel to allow enough pressure to start. So what we did after that is I went ahead and made this cool little tool we got here. So basically, I know it's not the high pressure relief valve. I know it's not the CP3. It's got to be one of the 8 injectors bleeding off. And since the injectors, one, are very expensive to change the whole set, and two, all the balance rates looked awesome on these injectors, I didn't want to go ahead and just throw 8 new injectors in it. It seemed like a waste of money, waste of time. So I made this tool. It's one of the old injector lines. I cut it and I welded a plug on the end of it. And basically what that is going to let me do is go one by one on each injector on the fuel rail. So like, here's our fuel rail right here. There's your injector line coming out, going through the valve cover to the injector. And we'll cap them one by one with those. So we'll start with this one, take that rail off, put the cap on it, crank it, see if it starts up, see if it builds pressure and starts. If it does, that's the bad injector. If it doesn't, go to the next one. We'll go through until we get to a spot where it can start on its own. And basically what that's doing is it's blocking that injector. It's not allowing it to get any fuel, which means it's not allowing it to return fuel through the return rail. The other way to do that is to pull all of the valve covers and everything off, hook return lines to all the injectors, put them into graduated cylinders, measure all the returns. Lots of hours of work to do all that. This is hopefully going to find us our problem in a fraction of the time, and then we will just change the one injector. We don't got to touch anything else on this engine. So we're going to start on this back passenger side, work our way forwards. If we don't get it on this side, we'll go to the other side, same deal, until we get one that starts. All right, so as you can see, started on the far back one there. It didn't start. Moved it to our second one here. So as you can see, there's the tool there. You can see the original line. I've got tape on the end of it just to keep junk from getting in there. There's our plugged line next to it. Turn the key and it fires right up. So it has no problem building pressure. It runs good with that injector blocked off, starts fine. Let it sit for a couple days, came back to it, still starts fine. So that's our issue right here. So it's our second from the back on the passenger side here. So we're going to pull all this off, get our valve cover off. Went ahead and ordered and got a Bosch reman injector. We've got our lower valve cover gasket here. There's a part number on that. And then we've got our crush washers and fittings for all the banjo bolts on all the return lines and all that. There's a Dorman part number there. Just a kit for one side. I think this is for both sides, so we'll just have an extra one. And then our Bosch reman injector, and then you will need some high temp RTV gasket maker. The upper valve cover has no gaskets, it is just RTV'd on. So that's all that. We're going to get our injector pulled out on this side. So we'll have to take the FICM off, charge pipe, fuel filter, housing, all that can kind of lay in the fender. And then we'll get the valve cover off, the upper valve cover off, pull the wire harness and return lines off, and then we can take the lower valve cover off, pull that injector out, put the new one in. Should be pretty straightforward. We're not messing with the cups or anything. We're just going to leave the one in there. It's in there. And like I said, all the other injectors in this truck have awesome balance rates, including the one that's returning too much. It's just a problem with the return side on it, not a problem with the high pressure side on the injector. So we'll get it changed, get it put back together, and hopefully we will turn the key and it'll start right up. All right, so we've got the FICM moved out, the fuel filter housing moved down, charge pipe out. We've got the upper and lower valve covers off here. And there's our culprit, that guy right there. We've got our hold down bolt off, so it is loose. It does wiggle back and forth. So what I'm gonna do is screw the old injector line to it so I can give some upward pressure while I wiggle it back and forth. And we will see if that will get it out. Since it's moving, I'm hopeful. I'm gonna be gentle. Don't want to pull the injector cup out. The system's still full of coolant. So if that injector cup comes out, that cylinder is going to get slap full of coolant. So it should stay. The injector's moving, so I'll pull it out carefully, and if nothing moves, we should be able to just put the old one back in its place and put it back together. All right, so just a tiny bit of upward pressure, and it popped right out. As you can see there, that injector O-ring was not seated correctly. So I don't know if the cup was filling up with oil. It has a crush washer down way in the bottom. It's gonna have to get replaced down there. It's a copper crush washer, came in our Dorman kit. And then obviously all of the crush washers on all the return lines and all that. So, all right, so our new injector is in. Lower valve covers back on, all new gaskets on that. So now I've just got to get the upper valve cover cleaned off. All this extra RTV from the last time it was put on. Get some new RTV put on here. I'm going to replace these seals where the injector lines go through, clean up all of our injector lines, and then we will put this back together and put the other parts on, bleed the air out of the system, and hopefully should fire right up. Alright, so this is our update on the hard start LB7 Duramax here. We just drove it about 500 miles. Picked up some cars and then it sat all weekend. So this is its cold start after sitting for 2 days. As you can see, no problem at all starting up. So that's that. I'm gonna call that one done. Hopefully this helps somebody. Maybe you don't have to replace all your injectors. Maybe you just need to replace one like this one. Like I said, balance rates on the other 7 on this truck look absolutely awesome. So my opinion, there's no reason to change them all. So that's that. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helps someone out, and I will see you next time.